Hi, if you're here, give me a shout out. Welcome to Friday. Yay. And to 67 days before the election, y'all. 67 days. The time goes by so quickly. Um, please feel free to give me a hi in the comments. I logged on a little early tonight because the opportunity presented itself. Hi, Patty. You're here early, not just on time. Let me fix the curtain. There, that's a little better. I can actually see. How's everybody doing today? How was your week? Mine was very hectic. Um, yeah, I agree, Patty. The election cannot come fast enough. I am so ready for November 3rd. Um, it's been a hectic week for all of us moms who are doing the whole distance learning thing. I feel like, hi Jen. I feel like I thought I had it all figured out, and then this week happened, and I went, "Oops, nope. We've added some elements." So we're just getting now a new routine under our belts. I have a feeling it's going to change a lot. If you haven't heard me say it though, I'll say it again. Our teachers are doing an awesome, awesome job without exception. It is really just astonishing the way they've um, transformed their in-person classes into distance learning, and it feels pretty seamless. So I appreciate it. If you're just jumping on, give me a hi, because again, I can't see who's here. It's one of those strange things about my Facebook. I don't know what it is. There's probably a way. I just don't know what it is, which is why we're going to talk about technology tonight. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. If you are on here and you're interested in hosting a listening on the lawn session, we do have a few spots still available. Um, Mostly evening spots, which would be 7 p.m. And those are on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Um, yes, Patty knew math. We can talk about that in a second. So those are Thursday, Friday, Saturdays we have available. Like I said, most of the times in the morning are already taken, but we do have some evening slots available. The weather is definitely cooling down a little bit, so the evenings could be really nice. If you're interested in hosting me on your front lawn, I would love it. And you can do so by going to my website, which is goforgollinger.com, and there is a form you can fill out there. Or you can email my coordinator, which is Patty Harrington, who is on this live, and she's going to throw her email in the chat so you can see what it is. But I will tell you it's maxcurie@hotmail.com, but she's going to throw it up there just so you guys have it. I only have 3 people on tonight. I wonder if everybody's doing something fun. My family is off doing something fun right now. I just have William home with me tonight. They are picking up the signs. Yay! The signs are here. The signs are here. Finally. So Patty, yeah. So it is new math. I actually love it. I'm like one of the minority parents who really enjoys the new Common Core math system because I'm a left brain creative type generally. And so the new math really takes advantage of both hemispheres of the brain, I feel like. There's always a right answer, but there are multiple ways to get to the answer. So for our kids who, thrive on creativity, I think that it really, which is what I was in school, I struggled with math, but I never struggled with writing or, history or science or any of those things. But math was a struggle for me, and I think if I had had the Common Core new math way, I might be better at math today. So I'm actually learning alongside my kids, and it's actually kind of fun. We did square roots today. I love square roots. And Anna has a really awesome math teacher who is connected in a major way. Big shout out to Allison Stiles. So it is 5 o'clock. Not a lot of people on tonight, so I'm going to assume you're all doing something that's way more fun than talking to me. So I'll just give you a quick little rundown. If you're joining me on Alive at 5 for the first time, just a few rules of the road. As you all know, am a stay-at-home mom, and I have a house full of kids and pets and husbands, and actually just the one husband. Let's not get that rumor started. So it can get a little chaotic and hectic behind me. Don't worry. It's all under control, and you will have my undivided attention for as long as you need it. I am going to talk a little bit tonight about technology. I know it's not a super duper riveting discussion, but it's super important. And I will take your questions. If you need more information about me, about how you get a sign, how you can host me for a campaign event, or you want to make a donation, all that can be done online at my website, which is goforgollinger.com. You can obviously find me here on Facebook, and you can also find me on Nextdoor. If you have any questions, I am an open book. I'm happy to answer anything that you'd like to know. Um, so let's get into, so I just scrolled down in the comments and saw some comments. Carl Valdez says, I don't live in Rio Vista, but you never know. I might someday. Hope all the best for you. Thank you so much, Carl. And if you want to know about this, more about the city of Rio Vista, we hopefully, this is my youngest, William, we hopefully are going to improve our, Carl, do you work with Pete? Hopefully we're going to improve our city's website so that you can actually research Rio Vista and find out if it's a place you want to live or not. Yes, correct. So Patty is correct. She made the statement that you can't put up signs until 30 days before the election. That is the case in Trilogy. If you live in Trilogy, if you're one of our wonderful neighbors in Trilogy, you may not put up political signs until October 3rd. Now, you can put them in your window. So if you have a forward-facing, house that is facing the street, my mom's spare bedroom is facing the street, so she can put it in her house, in her window until October 3rd. And don't worry, I'll remind you on October 3rd that it's time to take that sign out and put it on your lawn. So if you are living within just what they call core Rio Vista, so that's downtown Rio Vista, my neighborhood, anywhere basically else besides Trilogy, you are free to put a sign out whenever you want. But yeah, that rule does apply to Trilogy. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Connie. I missed you, Connie, so much at my listening at the lawn. Hopefully, I'm going to get you the schedule if you want to come to a different one. I'd love it if you came. Oh, Carl, you were in MSA with him. Great. We might have actually met before, maybe when he was president, and I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. But welcome to the live. We're going to talk technology tonight. And I am very fortunate to have a husband who's really, really good at technology. I told him he might have missed his calling, and he didn't even know it. So we're going to talk technology. But like I said, we'll take questions at the end. Hi, Mom. I will take questions at the end about any topic you'd like to discuss. Last week, we went over the general plan. It was a great discussion, and I really appreciated everybody's comments. And this video will be available to review later on my Facebook page and also available on YouTube. So if I'm reading questions and it sounds a little clunky, that's why. It's just for the YouTube folks. So let's talk technology. One of the things that I really became, I always knew that as a person who is, I'll admit it, I'm not super technologically advanced. I know how to operate my Facebook. I know how to operate my Nextdoor. I know how to operate my cell phone. But I don't understand Instagram. I don't understand Twitter. I just admit it. It's just, and maybe I'm too old to learn, but the good news is there's people out there that can teach us. So I've always sort of been aware that we were lacking in, technology in the city of Rio Vista, but COVID-19 really brought that to the forefront, especially since we're not able to gather in person for city hall meetings, for committee meetings, for council meetings, because none of that in-person interaction is happening. Basically, the public has been shut out of the entire process because, and I don't think it's intentional, because of the lack of technology at City Hall. We're kind of operating in a 20th century world, or 20th century system in a 21st century world. The first city council meeting that they had, post shutdown, was literally a conference call. It was everybody on speakerphone. They brought all the phones from the city hall, put them in the council chambers, put everybody on speakerphone, and put mics up to those phones. And then they broadcast it on the internet on Granicus. That's not how you do it. If you have been watching any other city council meetings like I have, you know that they're Zooming, they're using Google Meets, they're using they're using online technology to really bring the public into the conversation. Of course, it's moderated. Of course, there are time limitations on public comment, but right now it's you better get your email in before 5 o'clock, otherwise you're not going to have public comment. And if anything is said during the meeting while you're watching it, you really don't get a chance to have public comment on those items, because you didn't email it. So that's one piece. And then the other piece I think that is really important to talk about is, public information and how City Hall is distributing information to the citizens. I personally get most of my local information from Nextdoor. I find that it's a little less clunky than trying to find it on Facebook, because while I follow, sorry, I had to look at the cat. If I follow the city on Facebook, sometimes there are a lot of posts on there with information, and then sometimes there's none. And so I'll see something on the Facebook page or on Nextdoor that's posted by a citizen, that there's nothing on the Facebook page. So there doesn't seem to be any cohesive messaging or cohesive system that the city is using. Part of that, I think, is because we do not have a public information officer. That's pretty standard in most cities, that you have one person either at City Hall or the fire department or the police department or somewhere who is a public information officer. All that they're in charge of is pushing information out to the public through whatever means the city deems appropriate. Our former battalion chief, Brandon Vaccaro, was extremely good at public information. And when the COVID-19 crisis happened and we kind of shut down our government, he stepped into that role and was doing a phenomenal job kind of coordinating messaging out of City Hall and making sure that it was a unified voice, unified language, and unified distribution. Since he has left, there really isn't anybody who's picked up the mantle, and I'm not sure it's a priority at City Hall, but I can tell you that it matters. If you, this won't, I hate to say this, but this COVID-19 is not the first crisis that the city of Rio Vista may face. And having a centrally located source of information is key to a successful response from citizens and from the fire department, the police department, all the services that we rely upon. So that's another piece of it. And then we'll talk about the big elephant in the room, which is the city's website. If you haven't had a chance to visit the city's website, lucky you. It's garbage. I'm not going to mince any words about it. I had somebody say about me this week that I'm not sophisticated, which, that was not a sophisticated comment that I just made right now, but the website's garbage. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's better updated now than it has been in the past. However, I just spent, before I got on this live, I thought, let me just take a little look-see, see how many errors I can find on the website in 15 minutes. I found 4. I found 4. So that was just in a little 15-minute perusal of the website. Now, why is the city's website, thanks, Marianne, I am kind of real. I keep it real. Why is the city's website important? Well, one, that's the place you're going to go to in a crisis, right? That's where you're going to go if I have questions about, the city's restrictions because of COVID-19. That's where I'm going to go if I have questions. For example, my good friend Bob Coons, who lives in Trilogy, if he needed to make a report about some, he's very good about noticing when, the weeds have gotten too tall in our public spaces, and reporting that to the fire department because it's a safety hazard. Could he get there from the website, or does he have to go to the fire department's website? What are the hoops that Bob has to go through to do that? If you're coming to Rio Vista, you're moving here, and you want to know, where do I get my newspapers? I'm a newspaper reader. I personally am. I'm a newspaper reader. I want to know, okay, I just moved here. I want to get my subscription going to the newspaper so I don't miss anything. Well, if you go to the city's website, they still have the River News Herald listed as a newspaper in Rio Vista. It is no longer in business. So I'm coming to Rio Vista. I'm moving here, and I'm just curious, is this a place that I want to come for? I'm looking for a new job, and I think there may be some opportunity in Rio Vista, so I'm going to move my family there and try to find a job. Well, if you go to the city's website and you look at the employment numbers for the city of Rio Vista, the statement that's made on the website is that, I'm sorry, I have to wear my glasses. I'm wearing different glasses for you guys tonight. The statement on the website is that the total labor force in the city of Rio Vista is 2,400 people, and that our unemployment rate is 8.5%. That's depressing. But the good news is, folks, that data is from August of 2009. That's what's on our website. That's the most current information that we could pull off of. The River News Herald shut down in September of 2019. That's the most current information that we could get off the California EDD site, was from August of 2009, and we put that on our website. Let's imagine I'm a family, I'm just driving through. I'm a tourist. I'm a tourist and I'm coming through town. I'm like, I wonder what's to do. What can I do here in Rio Vista? My kids are bored. They're climbing the walls of the car. Oh my God, we got to get them out and get them to running around. Let's see what kind of parks are in the city of Rio Vista. Shall we? Who's heard of Harris de Silva Skateboard Park? If you have lived here longer than, I don't know, the last 10 years, you know that was the skateboard park that was over by the police department on Poppy House Road. It was like 3 wooden ramps that were pretty broken and pretty awful. I didn't even know it had a name, to be honest with you. And it is no longer there. It is tore down for safety reasons. Plus, we built a beautiful new skate park at Val de Flores Park. So that's not on the website. Harris de Silva Skate Park is on the website, and Val de Flores Skateboard Park is not. You can also go play basketball at basketball courts that no longer exist. Those are located over by the Homecoming development, right next to the business park. Those are no longer there, but we did build a really beautiful half court in, I didn't know it had a name either, Patricia. We did build a really beautiful half-court basketball court in Bruning Park, which is also called City Park, where the pool is. That's not on the website. So we're going to have, if I was just a tourist driving around town, I'd be driving around and looking at things and going, what? I don't get it. So that hasn't been updated in several years. Which one, Patricia? Patricia said they're still there. The basketball court hoops might still be there, yes. That is no longer considered a city park, though. That is actually going to go away eventually. I don't believe that they have nets or that anybody's maintained the concrete. Kids probably play on it because kids will play wherever they want to play, but that is technically not a basketball court anymore. And then, if I'm moving here and I want to know what to do with my kids during the summer, I'm like, oh God, summer is a rough time around here. The city pool is, we do the city pool, but then what? So I took a look to see what kind of recreation is available in the city. And if you're on the website and you go under departments and then you go to the Rio Vista Alliance, that's where you're going to find information about ATOD, which is alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, which is a great program run by Tony Tucker, and she's amazing. But it says Rio Vista Alliance, ATOD, and facilities, and that they have a recreation division. This was news to me. I did not know we had a recreation division. I can tell you that the person who at City Hall does all the facilities scheduling and all of that stuff is incredibly good at her job. But there's no way she has time to also run a recreation department. So I'm kind of confused about that. So updating the website is important, and updating the website should be a frequent occurrence. And hi, Anna's here. So my kids are trickling in now. So the signs must be here too. So technology is really key. We are in a 21st century world. We're entering a time where, I really want to see some development of our downtown businesses. I'd like to see us marketing the city better for tourism and small businesses to come in and open up. And all of that hinges around the image of the city. And if the first image you have of the city is our website, we've got a problem. Now, how are we spending the money? I will tell you that in next year's budget, they have budgeted. You want to see them, Randall? In next year's budget, we have budgeted $150,000 for IT. That's probably gonna. I'm not moving. You're moving. Stop moving. There's the signs. It says a choice for change, Gollinger for Mayor of Rio Vista, and it's double-sided. So those are the signs. And I'll say it again, guys. I'm going to get off topic here just for a second. If you want a sign, it would be super, super helpful for me if you could go to my website, which is goforgollinger.com, and there's a little form that you can fill out saying you want a sign. The only reason why I'm asking you guys to do that is to it's going to print out in a really nice little spreadsheet for me, and so I can check you off. So I don't have to go through emails and combo it. So if you've already requested a sign, I got you. If you're new and you haven't requested a sign, please go to the website and fill out that form. If it gives you trouble, just shoot me an email. It's fine. So yeah, the website is incredibly user friendly, and I encourage everybody to do what I do, which is I go and look at other cities' websites. What are they doing? How does it look? If I'm try to look at it with the eyes of you don't already live here and you don't already know the answers. If you are trying to research something, which I've had to do a lot, and this has been very frustrating, to do Lives at Fives and to do, I'm going to keep it real with you guys, and to do Listening on the Lawns, there's things I know, and then there's things that I have to do a little research on to make sure that I know. If that makes sense. So going through city council meetings, going through agendas, going through staff reports, going through the general plan, which is available on the website, and supporting documents, it takes probably a good, I'm going to say 45 minutes and a lot of frustration to find one thing. It's not laid out in a user-friendly way. It's not laid out in a transparent way at all. And so we need major improvement there. So those are three big topics that I just covered there. So we're looking at, we desperately need unified messaging from City Hall. We need to redo our we need to redo our website. And we needed, yes, I am doing my homework, Marianne. And we're doing, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is a little bit, this may be a little bit strange for some people, because if you haven't been in City Hall for a city council meeting, you don't know that the microphones and sound system and camera system are absolutely horrible. 9 times out of 10, I can't hear what anybody's saying, and I'm 40 something years old. So I can't imagine that our population with hearing difficulties are getting it. And then the other part of it, and let me see what Patty says here. Patty says, my idea is Wi-Fi for all of Core, better city council meeting coverage. Website audited and updated. Digital media on Rio Vista tourist ideas. Link to something like Groupon coupons. Great idea, Patty. Thank you. Um, and so the microphones are really outdated. The sound system's horrible. It's totally outdated. There is no audio visual really to speak of other than pulling down the screen. No kidding, manually pulling down the screen and using a projector. It harkens back to my high school days. It really does. It takes a person to get all of that organized, and sometimes it even takes a person to push the button to the next slide because the remote control doesn't work from the podium. It's frankly, it's embarrassing. We can do better. And we should want to do better. We should want to make a better presentation of our city out into the general public at large. So technology is going to be one of the first things we've got to kind of tackle as a city. And I know it's a sensitive subject because, the person who does our website and all of our technology, for the most part, is the husband of one of our city council members. So I know that it's delicate and I know that it's hard, but we have to put the priority of the city, the city's priorities at the top and not other people's feelings. Any questions about that? Any questions about technology? This isn't a super exciting subject, but it really is critical, I think, to all the other things falling into place. It's the 21st century and we're a little stuck. You guys are quiet tonight. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to share this live on your personal Facebooks. Yes, Marianne, I am doing my homework. Every person who is running for an office this year should be doing their homework. Because even if you've sat in the seat for the last 3.5 years, that doesn't mean you're an expert on everything. Yes. So Patricia, let's talk about technology disparities. Rio Vista is sort of a technology desert. Mostly that's because of a lack of fiber optic cable. Not in all of Rio Vista. Getting Comcast. I'm sorry, what?
We have fiber to town now, though.
Right. Yes. Comcast putting fiber optic in to get to core was absolutely huge. But unfortunately, it doesn't extend to our more rural neighbors. They are still on the ancient, I used to live in the country. I lived 5 miles outside of town in a ranch house, and I don't even remember what we used, but I know that there was a conversation once about using satellite internet, which is garbage. So we actually just switched our Wi-Fi from Frontier to Comcast because it was I think it was the first day of school, and all my kids couldn't be on the Wi-Fi at the same time without it crashing. We had to get off all of our phones, all the other technology. So the Wi-Fi on Comcast is definitely better than Frontier, but it's definitely still not perfect. We are crashing almost every day, at least once a day. So we need to, really identify, how we work with our state and federal partners and our county partners to bring more bandwidth to Rio Vista so that, we can really increase the capacity for the people on Wi-Fi, especially since we're all on it now. If you have a kid at home, they're on Wi-Fi from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, it's some days I have to use my mobile hotspot. Us too. Absolutely, Patricia. We get really creative. We're turning off our phone Wi-Fi sometimes so that the kids can get on the Zoom, and it's a struggle. Marianne says he also doesn't have contact with the city. I assume there, Marianne, that you are talking about our current mayor who does not have contact with the city. I would be happy to talk about how I will be in contact with our citizens in the city. I will have the most open door policy you can imagine. the mayor has an office in City Hall, and okay, the mayor has an correct. Okay, the mayor has an office in City Hall. A lot of people don't know that, and the current mayor is in the office for, I believe, a pretty large bulk of the day. Even during COVID, right now, I believe he's still going down to the office. I've seen him down there. So, one of the big things, the tech guy doesn't have a contract. Oh, we're talking about Brent. Oh, okay. Never mind. Let's talk about Brent. My husband just clarified what we're talking about. If Marianne, I believe, is talking about the person who does our website and everything, yes, he is not a contract. Doesn't have a contract. He is not an employee of the city of the Rio Vista. He is sort of a consultant, I guess I would say, who bills us hourly for the work that he does on the website, and probably some other things too, like I think he helps with you know, computer issues and printer issues and things like that. So yes, that is correct, Marianne. Um, was that what you were after? Is that what you were talking about, Marianne and Patricia? Sorry, my brain's a little foggy today. I don't know why. Lack of food. But I will just finish up my little statement about being an open door mayor, and that is that the mayor's office is your office. It's not mine. Doesn't belong to me. City Hall belongs to you. That is your facility. That's where your tax dollars go, and so I believe that I have an obligation to meet you in your office to discuss city issues and to be available to you in any way that I can, which include phone, text, these sorts of things, Zoom meetings, however people need to meet face to face, lunches, dinners, whatever you need. That's the kind of mayor I'm going to be. I like people, and I don't think there's any such thing as a bad idea. And I don't think feedback or disagreement, it doesn't scare me at all. I think sometimes we grow and learn in the disagreement. So, yeah, I got off track. Marianne says yes. Patricia said, I don't know. So I think we got it. Any other questions from you guys about technology or anything else? I'm going to open up the forum here. I talked about technology for about a half an hour, so that was good. And there's been a lot of conversation, a lot of people asking me to talk about schools and the school district specifically. So I would be more than happy to schedule that for my next live at 5, which will be glasses. Let's see, that's September 4th? No. Yes. I don't know. 67 days before the election, people. So that is September 4th. So I think that will be, thanks, Marianne. I think that will be a good time to talk about it because we can go for hours on that subject. So plan on the next live at 5 being about the school district, how we can support the school district. There's a lot of conversation happening on Nextdoor right now, especially that a lot of folks think that the city council should have nothing to do with our city schools. That's something we need to correct right away. And if possible, I might be able to get a special guest for that meeting because I'd love for you to hear, get a perspective from the school district itself, not just my perspective from an outsider looking in. So plan on that for next week. And y'all are so quiet. Hit me with the questions. Go. I might have to do a soccer team icebreaker. So one of the things that I do as a soccer coach every year, one of the things that I do as a soccer coach every year, and I coached every year, every age imaginable. I've coached from as small as 3 years old, and the biggest one was 14 years old. So, and I use the same icebreaker every time we meet for the first time, and that is tell me your name and tell me your favorite food. Don't make me pull that out on you. Marianne says, do you have anything to add about the general plan, specifically the direction the town is taking? Great question, Marianne. And I think that, this is kind of a process that has to be sort of massaged. And there's Henry. And there's going to be a lot of input from other people about what the new general plan should look like. And that's how good general plans are done. It can't just be my opinion about what I think the future of Rio Vista should look like, because I have a different life experience than you, or my mom, or even my neighbor. So what I think is best for future of Rio Vista is not necessarily what the majority of Rio Vista feels is best for the future of Rio Vista. That's why when you do a general plan, you bring in stakeholders, you bring in citizens, you bring in government, you bring in engineers, you bring in all these elements to come together and to come up with consensus. It's a wonderful team building process. I'm not going to lie, it takes a while to do it successfully, but it's totally worthwhile. And that's what was done on the last general plan, and I think they did a great job. I will never say that they didn't. It's just outdated. It's just not practical anymore to follow a general plan that's 19 years old. I hope that answers your question, Marianne. Patricia says city council should be involved with the schools. The kids are our future, and absolutely that is true, Patricia. And this is the thing that I have just been banging my head against a wall saying for the last 2 weeks, which is people are not going to move. When you move to a town, the first thing you look at as a working parent is you look at how are the schools. That's the first thing you look at, not even necessarily the price of the houses. You want to know if your kids are going to go to a quality school. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to keep it real. If you look up the ratings of D.H. White, Riverview, and Rio Vista High School on all these school rating websites, I don't even understand some of the metrics that they use in order to come up with these ratings. Our schools are rated pretty poorly. I will tell you, as a parent who has kids at 2 different schools in Rio Vista, our schools are fantastic. Our teachers are fantastic. Are they equal to large schools that have this enormous budget and all these extracurriculars? No, of course not. But for what we have a phenomenal team of teachers and administrators who are doing a phenomenal job. And my kids are happy, and I'm happy. And if they weren't, I wouldn't live here, to be honest with you. So, but absolutely, the city plays a role in what our schools look like, how happy our parents are, how happy our kids are. They can play a huge supporting role for the district. One of those big things that the city could be supporting is an after school program. Um, a lot of cities run after school programs. Um, completely independent from the school. That is not a new idea. I didn't just invent that. That's I can actually cite web links in the comments of cities who are doing it and doing it successfully. They can work in partnership. The city can work in partnership with not-for-profits like Boys and Girls Club, like the YMCA, YWCA. There are lots of opportunities, and any teacher will tell you that after-school programs make a huge difference for students in school. So the after-school program helps students from the 8 to 250. It was actually interesting because the first year that Rio Vista schools didn't have an after school program, the following year, I heard a lot of feedback from teachers who were saying, "Oh my God, the homework, we're just not getting the homework back. The homework never comes in now." Because a big part of the after school program was kids were getting help with their homework. If you are a child of a 2-parent household and both parents work, when you go home from school, there isn't somebody there to help you with your homework. Or if you are a student of a primarily Spanish speaking family, there's nobody there to help you with your homework. So it's just sort of a no-brainer. Kids who go to after school programs perform better, than kids who don't. So that's one big way. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to talk about it next week. Randall says, would now be a good time to pressure the state to help us get better internet in Rio, considering we are doing distance learning? Randall, to be honest with you, I think it's probably it's always a good time to ask for what you need. I will tell you though that the state is pretty strapped. There's not a lot of money to go around right now. I think that the state has a huge reliance on federal programs. President Obama had a fantastic federal program to get internet into rural areas, if you will recall. That program has pretty much gone away now, but there was a good partnership between the federal and state government to sort of address these technology deserts. Excuse me. Excuse me. So ideally, if COVID-19 wasn't a thing, I would say absolutely it's a great time. But I can tell you that the money is not necessarily there. This is something that actually did come up with a conversation that I had with Assemblymember Jim Frazier, and I'm have a meeting with Bill Dodd. I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now. And this is a question that I'll pass on to him because you're right. It is critical, especially during distance learning, that we're meeting the needs of our students in the 21st century. Patricia says the school needs an after-school program. Absolutely, you're preaching to the choir, girl. Yeah, and that is a safe haven for them too. Not only are they getting support with homework, a lot of them are getting meals there. A lot of them are getting can meet with counselors there. A lot of them are doing peer-to-peer relationship building there. I cannot say enough good things about after-school programs, and the one that the district provides in Isleton is absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, it's reliant on a grant that Rio Vista no longer qualifies for. So we do need to look at different ideas. And I think a great idea is to partner with the city to run an after school program. What other questions do you guys have? I know the schools are a hot topic, so we will talk about it tomorrow. I will dedicate an entire live at 5 to it, so that everybody, and I'll advertise it so everybody can tune in, because it's sort of it was sort of enlightening to me that there are people who really strongly disagree that city council should be involved in schools at all, that have this very hands-off approach. It was enlightening, and I can only assume that our current city council and mayor are of that school of thought, because I don't see haven't seen any progress in that area of relationship building between our school district and our city council. Connie says Lodi uses Parks and Rec for after school. Absolutely. We don't have a Parks and Rec department to speak of, really. So we do have a commission, and they do good work there. And I was the chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission, and I loved being on the Parks and Rec Commission. If you all are looking for a way to get involved in city government, that's a great place to start because it's fun. But unfortunately, the recreation department for our city has sort of fizzled out. It needs a little prod, and I think that an after-school program would be a great way to start, and to really revitalize what we can be providing for kids in this community as a city. Connie lives in Lodi. Connie can't vote for me unless she plans on moving to Rio Vista just for a minute. Connie is my pastor's wife, so just in case y'all are wondering, who is this Connie Hill? Any other questions for me? If you guys are going to let me off early, I'm just going to eat more dinner and add on to the 25 or so pounds that I've gained over COVID. Seriously, 2 pant sizes. Any other questions? If you haven't seen yet, Patty Harrington has lovingly put together a request for our firefighters who are deployed. Rio Vista Fire Departments, although we are fully staffed, we actually just hired a new battalion chief. His name is Adrian Hairston. He's awesome. I met him, and he is incredible and going to be a huge asset to the city. If you don't know, Kim, are you at the dog park right now? I'll be right there. If you haven't had a chance to meet him, I'm sure you'll have an opportunity. He's fantastic. We are fully staffed at the fire department, but they are operating with a rotating schedule of deployments right now to the various fires around the state. The LNU complex lightning fire has reached a pretty good level of containment. That's the one in Fairfield, Vacaville area. It has reached pretty good level of containment in the Solano County side. So they've been able to move on to different fires around the state. Patty has lovingly decided to do a little needs drive, and one of the things that our deployed firefighters really appreciate is Kim, you're so cute. One of the things that our future firefighters really need is they love power bars, they love coffee, they don't have pillows, they sleep on the ground. So anyway, so Patty is doing a collection for those. She's put her email in the comments. If y'all would like to donate to her cause, I'm sure it would be appreciated. Our firefighters can use all the support we can give them while they're away from home fighting these horrible fires. Kim, I will be at the dog park later. I'm glad you're watching your future mayor. I hope that's me and not somebody else. Patricia, you've lost 2 pant sizes, and I'm gonna need to know your secret. PM me. It might be stress. I have the opposite thing. Let's see. What did Patty say? Let me go up just a little bit. Yes, we need a healthy, functioning city. I don't believe we have that right now. I've actually seen it get worse and not better. Um, so that's why me. That's why I'm running. That's what it's about. I really strongly believe in the future of this city. I love this city so much. Every time I've moved away, I come back, and it's because I love it. So I it's so important to me that we are a healthy, functioning, vibrant city. I want us to be on the map for all the right reasons. Patty said, any snacks that are individually wrapped and sealed. Yes. So for our firefighters, if you'd like to make a donation, they do have to be individually wrapped and sealed because COVID. So no homemade goodies, but power bars, granola bars, anything like that they'll take so they can have a quick snack. They don't really get breaks to eat or, drink really or brush their teeth. It's hard work. I don't know how they do it. They're heroes, no doubt about it. Any other questions for me? Kim, I hope to see you at the dog park tonight. Kim Solomon is one of my good friends that our dogs play together. And I hope to see you because I'm hoping you have an exciting update for me. Do you know when the forum is going to be held? I do. Thanks for asking, Marianne, and thanks for the reminder. I have it on the calendar for. So the candidate forum for mayors is September 28th at 7 p.m. That'll be a Zoom meeting that will be put on by Rio Vision. I'm going to assume that you will see advertisement and links for that Zoom invitation. If you don't, I'll make sure to put it here on my website and do an email blast from. I'm sorry, I'll be putting it here on Facebook, and I'll be sure to do an email blast from my website. So if you're on my website, and we got you in your volunteer database, you'll receive an email from us about that. I'm not sure when the city council forum is. I have it in my mind that it is before the mayor's forum. So let me follow up and see. Yes, forum for the mayor is 9/28 at 7 p.m. And but I'm not sure when council is. Patty, do you know? For some reason, I have it in my head. It's on the 25th, but I could be mistaken. So that'll be a great opportunity also to ask me some more questions. And you'll get to hear me answer questions from other people who don't join us on Facebook. And it's also even better a chance to ask questions of the folks I'm running against to see how they stand on the issues because we really haven't heard much from them. Patty says ground coffee, any roast, small bags, or decaf. No decaf. Decaf? Protein bars and small pillow space is an issue on strike teams. Yes, keep in mind they don't have a lot of room on the trucks, so anything that you can get that's miniaturized, they'll take. Any other questions for me? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything? Because you guys are so quiet tonight. The air quality seems a little better today. I say that, and then I go outside to feed the turtles or whatever, and I'm like, ugh. So I choked on the last Live at 5 that we have, so I'm going to try to do that. I'm trying not to do that tonight. But yeah, seems a little better, but then it's sort of intermittently yucky outside. But it has cooled down. Thank God for that. Any other questions for me? I'm at your service. If there's nothing else, is Deborah on? Can Deborah tell us when the city council forum is? She must not be here. So if there's nothing else from you guys, I'm going to go ahead and oh, Patricia, absolutely. So you can pretty much catch me at the dog park. Patricia said maybe I'll bring my dogs to the dog park tonight or tomorrow and maybe we can chat. That's a great opportunity to see me also, is I do tend to be at the dog park at about generally 7-ish, usually after dinner, and that's when I take my Lucy dog to the dog park to wear her out so we all get to sleep. So if you want to come see me at the dog park, you are more than welcome. I'm happy to talk to you guys with your dogs. That's actually where I've met just some amazing people. I'm so glad we have that dog park because I have met so many people through the dog park. You have no idea. So yeah, come on down anytime. Patricia, you're more than welcome to just call me anytime too. Or you can host a listening at the lawn, on the lawn. So again, let me just review real quick. We did get signs today, and we will be out this weekend distributing signs. So if you want a sign, best way for me, pretty please, would be to go to our website and sign up for a sign. And that's goforgollinger.com. And there's just a real simple form, and it's going to kick you. For us, it makes it easier on the back end because it puts it in a spreadsheet, and I can map my route. A reminder that if you live in Trilogy, you can't put your sign on your lawn until October 3rd. You will get a reminder from your candidate for mayor about that. But I'm more than happy to drop it off to you in the meantime. So we will be out this weekend. So make sure that if you want one, you sign up for one. You can also shoot me an email at emily@goforgollinger.com. You can text me 209-224-1615. You can send me a message on here, however you guys want to do it. Yeah, and that's really all I have for you guys tonight. It's pretty quiet Friday after a crazy week. Anything else? Thank you so much, you guys, for your ongoing support. So many of you come every Friday, and I'm so happy that you do. Please feel free to invite your friends to next week, where we're going to talk about the school district and how the city can help and support the district, who is doing a great job. People keep telling me stop talking bad about the school district. I'm not talking bad about the school district. I think they're doing a great job, and I love them. I just want to help. So Trilogy peeps can put signs in our windows, but not lawn until October 3rd. Correct, Marianne? If you have a front-facing window, like a window that faces the street, my mom does on her house. Her guest bedroom is right to the street. If you want to put it on the inside of your window, then put your blinds down or whatever you have there, so it can be seen from the street. That's legal. You just can't put it in your lawn before October 3rd. So I think that sign that we were talking about, Marianne, for your fence, I think we're going to have to wait till the 3rd on that one. If you have a highly visible house on a corner or with a highly visible fence, please shoot me a PM, because I do have some very large signs that I'd be willing to put on there if you are willing. I've already had a couple people volunteer, so but the more we can get the word out, the better off we are. And just a reminder, invite your friends to the next one, and we're going to talk school district, and I'm going to go eat a taco. So anything else, guys? Thanks again for all your support, your love, your care, your concern. You guys are what makes Rio Vista great, and I am so excited to be your mayor. I can't wait. 67 days, y'all. 67 days. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you next Friday, if not sooner. Good night.